This calibrator seems to be operational. One moment. That should do it. Why don't you give it a try? It's turning. Rotate the gravity calibrator to change the direction of the gravity's pull. If we use this, we should be able to reach areas we previously couldn't. Hurry! We need to purify the other statues before the Dark Tide's corruption returns. Sounds like Foam's getting impatient. Let's head back.
Did you feel any discomfort while we were clearing out the remnants?
Nothing out of the ordinary. I felt fine. I suppose this alone is not enough to determine whose resonator I am.
You've helped a lot. About that for now. Another water rise is coming up. You planning to hold on to something?
Why didn't you tell me sooner?
An unexpected discovery. By the way, you said the inverted gravity is to stop the Dark Tide from descending into the city? But all we've seen so far are just its remnants.
That's because this very waterway we're sailing on used to be the Dark Tide itself. In these waters, gravity isn't the only thing that's inverted. Its very essence is too. Obstacles ahead. Let's get off here. There it is, up there. But judging by the distance, we'd be hard-pressed to make it back in time.
Can you use your ability from somewhere in between to clear them all at once?
I might not have that range. But there may be tacitite devices nearby that can help amplify my forte. Let's see if we can find one. That's it! A tacitite device. This should do the trick.
You okay?
Just catching my breath. You go get the remnant spark. Up ahead is the Tower of Salvation. That's where the first pedestal is located.
power of salvation?
Yes, a name taken from the Order's Codex. I'd rather know I'm a villain than remain a wanderer, lost in a world without understanding. To live with no memory of the past. Would it be so different from choosing to end it all? I must find the answer. Only then will I know how to face the memories I still carry. As for you, if I really am... I should go back for Cantarella. Will you wait here for us?
Of course.
I hope you won't mind the extra trip, Foam.
I saw signs of battle along the way. Is anyone injured? Well, you seem to be in perfect shape to me. But if you say so, I can offer you a strong elixir. Care to give it a try? Oh, I insist. Here, take this. There's no knowing what will happen once Tervin is placed on the pedestal. It's best we prepare ourselves.
No longer shall you bear these thorns as a reminder. Forged from primordial seas, this crown shall grant a new identity. Fleur-de-Lis, child of divinity, the Immaculate One. Will you uphold the sacred teachings of the Order of the Deep?
I will.
Salvation, unity, ascension. Of these three doctrines, which do you choose?
I choose salvation. I wish to be the Master's blade, striking evil, upholding virtue, and offering salvation to those in peril.
In the name of divinity, I bestow upon you this crown. May the blood of justice never run dry. Through this sacred rite, you become the bridge between the heavens and the living. From this day forward, you shall be the Master's sole receiver and herald. Rise, blessed maiden Fleur-de-Lis. None but the Master shall ever have the right to command you to bend the knee.
I told ya to stop sticking random stuff in here! Do you have any idea how messed up and humongous that frequency was? It's gonna give me indigestion! I should ask you that. What did you do just now, huh? I was dozing when BAM! Out of nowhere, a giant blue ball landed on top of me. It almost squished me.
I'm guessing putting Tervin on the pedestal has something to do with it.
Oh, hey! It smells just as unnatural as that big Gigantor back in Jinzhou.
The Sentinel of Jinzhou. If what our little echo friend says is true, then the frequency that entered your tacit mark could be Imperator's powers.
Huh? But the Sentinel isn't even here.
The power to split and manipulate space.
It is reminiscent of the moment of Turvin's creation. Only this time the place of confinement has become your tacit mark.
Why would it do that?
I believe it was meant for the true maiden. Under the right circumstances, the one to wield this sword and enter the Sonorosphere would be the Sentinel's resonator, the Blessed Maiden. The Sentinel entrusted their power to the resonator so that she could lend assistance when the corruption of the Threnodian altered them. Quite logical, isn't it?
You don't seem too thrilled about it.
If Imperator set this in motion, then their original plan has already failed. Cardathia, that means your guidance holds the key now.
But
I believe in you. Is there anything else you remember?
I just remembered the day I was crowned by the Order. And the moment the dark tide descended upon us. Huh?
But I didn't see the dark tide.
That is all I can remember.
Is that what you saw?
You witnessed it as well, Cantarella.
No. I only saw fragmented, blurry images. They seemed to belong to other places within the Sonorosphere. I believe this is where we should rest. We'll wait until sunrise.
I'm gonna hit the sack as well. Boy, it's so cramped in here.
Now what could you possibly want with...
Is it true that the Phasalia family was one of the factions that started the conflict in that stained glass?
The leader of one such faction, to be exact. That was a long time ago. After their
Is this why you had no choice?
No. The reasons for the Phasalia family...
What do you mean?
Long ago, Turvin was actually... When the conflict had settled, he arranged... He told the Phasalias that when he traveled through the first dark tide and reached its end, the heavenly voices he heard were not revelations from the divinity, but the seductive whispers of the Threnodian, casting a lure for puppets to bite. As I told you before, Leviathan is a Threnodian who uses beliefs to spread a spiritual plague. The Sentinel realized the Threnodian's plots, and thus the first dark tide was launched as a hasty reaping of Raguna and the Sentinel. To save Raguna from the grim fate brought by the dark tide, this power allowed him to imbue the echoes with...
And this power was released through the lantern depicted in the stained glass?
Yes. The other part was kept inside Turvin. It was in that very moment, when the Sentinel's power had been weakened, that the Threnodian corrupted and merged with their body, transforming the Sentinel into the form you see today.
If what you're saying is true, the first Primus should have been on Imperator's side. Did the spiritual plague you mentioned affect him?
Although the Primus's body remained whole, his soul was torn apart, caught in the ceaseless struggle between the Threnodian and the Sentinel. Within the body they now shared, the Sentinel's power failed to shield the Primus from the Threnodian's influence. As in the end, during that private meeting, he confessed the truth.
So that's why he passed so abruptly.
The Phasalia family was powerless against the Order at that time. Now what could you possibly want with me at a time like this? Yet after trying for so long...
I don't think she wants to continue this conversation.
Now what could you possibly...
Are you going to search those areas we passed before?
The more clues, the better. Oh, and afraid I've slipped something extra in.
I'm just curious why the matriarch of the Phasalia family packs her own food.
Food is always an easy target for those who find me less than pleasing.
Is there anything else you'd like to ask? I'll share with you all that I can remember. The Sword of Discord, I can't remember. But as for Haltier, how did it end up being one of the swords that can...
Perhaps we'll know once we find it.
Is there anything else you'd like to ask? You should get some rest.